Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro Camera Review. Hello my dear friends, how are you? I hope you are well and in good health. Today I have a new and important video with you, which is a review of the camera of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro phone. I hope you like it, but before you watch the video, subscribe to the channel to receive everything new and useful. Now let's continue the explanation. Main camera specifications: rear camera system ultra wide, 13mm, 8MP/2.2 primary, 26mm 64MP/1.89, primary, plus 2MP bokeh sensor zoom, not available, uses primary camera macro, 21mm 2MP/2.4. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro's quad camera system includes a 2-megapixel bokeh sensor for depth perception. We don't consider this sensor a camera since it doesn't actually take color photos, but it helps in taking basic photos. Camera with blurring effects. The macro lens is a great new feature that many OEMs are experimenting with. Right now, it doesn't contribute to our camera score, because it's not yet clear whether people are using it, and how much macro contributes to the overall camera experience. There's no dedicated zoom camera, so this phone uses the primary camera and digital zoom to do the job, thanks to its IISP, image signal processor. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro is powered by the MediaTek Helio G90T, a SoC capable of supporting 64MP cameras with quad-core sensors. Image quality analysis important. Let's clarify some of the terms we will use. Image processing, software work that improves the quality of image data. Image filtering, a software action that changes the style, aesthetic, of an image. Context image, a great approximation of what we see, including how dark the scene actually is, just to provide context for the snapshot. Not a quality standard. A note about camera IQ. Our camera recording system is based on 4 pillars or subgrades that provide much needed nuance: day, night, zoom and ultra-wide. The macro is not part of the result yet. Photography in daylight. In daylight, the Redmi Note 8 Pro performs relatively well in absolute terms, which is very good if you take its price into account. In this category, it's not unusual to see cell phone cameras with understandably lower performance. The usual heavy devices like the Google Pixel 3 camera or the iPhone 11 camera have better detail and clarity. However, the level of detail on the Redmi Note 8 Pro is comparable to more expensive phones like the Mi Mix 3 camera, the Honor View 20 camera, or the LG V40 camera. We have noticed several instances of Redmi Note 8 Pro images appearing slightly red. If you don't know the scene, you probably won't realize what's going on. However, from the camera owner's perspective, subtle colors affect controllability and image quality. The Redmi Note 8 Pro's HDR photography could be better, as high contrast scenes may have faded areas. There's an example below, but HDR is very important because it contributes greatly to capturing the scene as your eyes see it, with detail in both dark and bright areas. The Redmi Note 8 Pro gets a daytime camera score of 175, which is slightly higher than the LG V40, and slightly lower than the Honor View 20. For reference, the iPhone 11 Pro is comparatively higher. Night photography. Our image analysis shows that the Redmi Note 8 Pro has slightly higher low-light camera performance than the Honor View 20, and is roughly on par with the Google Pixel 3. Now a roughly $275 phone at retail, which is a reference phone many people are familiar with. Note that the Redmi Note has a completely different color filtering aesthetic to the Google Pixel 3, so getting the same result doesn't mean its outputs are identical, but they are mostly comparable. It means that both are globally on the same level when objective, non-aesthetic, parameters are taken into account: noise, detail, HDR, etc. We have sample photos below for comparison. In high contrast, HDR, night photo situations such as street photos, festivals and night parks, this camera performs surprisingly well. In fact, it can easily compete with phones like the Pixel 3 or Galaxy S9, which were the better phones not so long ago. In soft low light, low contrast, scenes where the light is very dim, but without harsh lighting, the Redmi Note 8 Pro's camera uses relatively aggressive and reaches its maximum potential for light sensing capabilities with the Pixel 3 on the front, and even rivals the Pixel 2. Of course, Competing with $1,000 plus phones like the Mate 30 Pro is going to be tougher, and we have sample images to show that too, just so you know the gap to expect between this camera and others that cost around 5 times the price. Ultra-wide photography in absolute terms, the Redmi Note 8 Pro's ultra-wide camera has one of the lowest ultra-wide scores yet, right below the Huawei P30's camera and the Motorola Zoom One's camera. However, it's also one of the only smartphones at this price to have an ultra-wide camera to start with, and that helps its overall camera IQ score significantly. In practice, just having ultra-wide shots available is a big plus, even if the image quality isn't the best. This is truly the case, where having something is infinitely better than having nothing. The ultra-wide result shows that even some expensive phones like the iPhone 11 Pro don't fare much better, so there's huge value if you keep the analysis in sync with the phone's price. Ultra-wide camera subscore, 109. Zoom photography. Without a dedicated zoom lens, the Redmi Note 8 wasn't expected to score so highly, but we can shed a little more light on its zoom performance before you consider buying this phone. The level of detail is starkly comparable to other phones that don't have a dedicated zoom camera, including the recently launched Galaxy Z Flip for example, which captures less detail. In some cases, the Redmi Note 8 Pro preserved colors better than some competitors, but in other scenes the colors were noticeably unrealistic. It is very difficult to predict when this will happen, and this affects how controllable the camera is. Even 2x optical zoom makes a noticeable difference, and the comparison with the LG V40 below shows that easily. Obviously, more powerful zoom lenses capture much higher quality zoom shots. In large image subscore, 56 conclusion and camera intelligence, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro's camera score of 160 is higher than the Google Pixel 3 or Galaxy S9 Plus, which were top cameras not long ago. Although the Redmi Note 8 Pro is close to the previous high-end champions with its primary camera, but does not outperform them, the presence of the ultra-wide function pushes its overall ability to this level. Best mobile camera under $250. It demonstrates how dynamic and competitive the mobile camera market is, but also how expanding camera capabilities through the adoption of high-demand features such as ultra-fast photography can change the overall value proposition of mobile cameras. When you take into account the very reasonable price of the Redmi Note 8 Pro, it is clear that the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro offers the highest value proposition we have seen in the last 12 months. For the price, the camera performs excellently and is the best portable camera we've seen to date for under $250. Based on the prices shown below, obviously this can vary depending on locations, but it gives you a quick snapshot of the market. For more camera IQ reviews and scores, head over to our official page for the best mobile cameras. At the end of the video, I hope you liked it, and see you in a new video.